Oh, well, hello there. I guess I am going to do a tutorial about some really basic capoeira footwork. It's the Capoeira Ginga. And like I said, there are probably a lot of tutorials online you can find about that. And it's one of the fundamentals of helping to move from your orthodox stance, which is the left leading, to southpaw with the right leading. And so the Capoeira Ginga from the front, it simply starts from your hips squared off to the direction you're facing in a position, your feet just a little bit wider than hips width apart. My right leg is back, so my right hand is going to be up. This is sort of their defensive and guard position in capoeira, this hand here. The other one sometimes hangs down. We're just going to leave it at that. There are different ways of doing that. Then simply switching, you just step up so that both feet are right next to each other, parallel to each other. And then as you step the other foot back, so now we're stepping the left foot back, you swing that left arm up simultaneously as the right arm goes down. So you're simply moving into a squared up position, both feet are parallel together, and then stepping back the other side, and the hand comes up. So it looks like this from the front. 1 and 2, and left back, and right back, and left back, and right back. Squared up. One thing to keep in mind, a lot of people get it confused. Just keep in mind that every time one leg goes back, that's the arm that's going to be up. So my right leg is back, my right arm is up. And it's parallel to the floor for the most part. Like you can do an elbow strike or a block, right? Switching, my left leg is back, so my left hand is up. Some other things to consider. Let's take a look at this from my profile from the side. When you step the right foot back and put that right hand up, as you can see, I can have some spring off of the back foot because my heel is not going flat to the floor for this particular movement. It's always facing forward so I can spring off of it. And if you have the mobility, you should be able to just sit down onto your knee here. That's kind of the position you want to be in. That's the width that you want it. Some people lean forward sometimes, some people are standing straight up. It all depends on the situation, right? So again, this is what it looks like from the side. The feet are parallel. And then as you step back, you bring the other hand up. And like I said, you should be able to touch down on your knee here and spring up. Now, how does this apply to switching from southpaw to orthodox? If it's not obvious, well, here it is. So you don't have to get in that traditional or that most common capoeira position with the hands here, right? Or when you switch here where the arm is parallel to the floor. If you start in orthodox with your left hand leading, it's simply the same movement here, but both hands are up in your boxing guard, right? Elbows, shoulders relaxed, elbows close to your body, right? Chin down slightly, looking forward. You can do the same exact thing, but see, here I'm not squared up. I could be if I wanted to, but I'm turned to the side. My front leg, my left leg, is slightly turned, facing towards the right, and so is my right foot. Here I have my heels lined up, but you don't have to. You can have a wider stance. You can think of it like rollerblades, right? Inline skates. Sometimes your heels can be in a line, or more like the traditional roller skates, where they're offset and the wheels are parallel to each other. This gives you a little bit more mobility, but different styles, different people move a different way. It's up to you. But for this switching, it's the same thing. You're going to step forward for a moment, making your feet parallel and squaring off, and then stepping the other foot back. And you can see with this boxing stance here how that works. So it's just switching 1, 2. So I'm in orthodox, and then 1, 2, southpaw. It actually, to move that way, you're actually moving closer to your opponent just for a moment, and then stepping back. So you got to keep that in mind when you're doing it. This is why sometimes the Capoeira Ginga is not so practical. It just depends on the situation that you're in. You step and switch. You can easily step in Muay Thai, sometimes they do a big switch. You can step back this way by lifting the front leg and stepping away, right? You can do the same thing to go forward. Lift and step it in. If I was with the right lead, same thing. You push off that front leg, lift the knee and step back. Same thing, you're gonna push off because it's in the back, push, pivot on that foot on the floor and step forward. But don't get ahead of yourself. Just remember that the very simple way to practice being ambidextrous, left and right leading, is you can use that Ginga to shift. So in one of the other videos, I showed a combo that was a jab cross hook followed by a round kick. So now you can see how the Ginga goes into play for that movement. You're gonna start, jab, cross, hook, round kick. Step back here, and I'm simply gonna switch using the Ginga. 1, 2. Now I'm in southpaw, the right is in the lead. Jab, cross, hook, round kick. Step back, and Ginga. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step and switch. And again, you can also use that jump switch. Right? So you have a lot of different ways you can switch from southpaw to orthodox. That Capoeira Ginga is just one, and you can combine it with that jump switch, or even that big lifting leg switch that sometimes you might see from Muay Thai fighters or other kickboxers.